Hey, what is going on YouTube? Aaron here. We are back, ladies and gentlemen. We are back in the Z-44, guys. A lot of people are probably going to be unlocking this ship this week, and I wanted to give this ship a fair chance. If you guys remember in my first look video, I wasn't the biggest fan of this ship, and honestly, not much has changed, but we are running a different build at the recommendation of Mr. Toy Bandit, the Blue Fiora build, and I want to talk about and address a few topics in this video. Number one, this turns out to be a pretty fantastic game, and somebody recommended, they said in my first video, it's like, oh, check out this person, they had a great game. And guys, that is the absolute worst way to judge ships, by viewing one YouTuber's game and seeing how they do. I will look at some games and people are going against literal paid actors, and that has happened to me before. My Pensacola game, we literally said it in the video. I don't know what that team was doing, but we ended up with a fantastic score. Now, that being said, the Pensacola is a good boat. But you should not, absolutely should not judge a boat's characteristics based off of one video of somebody going against the random players in this game. Now, that being said, when you can put this boat in the right spots, getting on the flanks, using your concealments, and connecting torpedoes, as we do right here in this video, you can have a moderately effective destroyer that can fulfill the roles that destroyers need to fill. Now, most of you guys are smart, intelligent players, and you know those roles already, but if you don't, your roles in a destroyer are to spot, primarily, cap, secondarily. Now, spotting and capping go hand in hand, essentially. And then your third role is to eliminate enemy destroyers, make sure your battleships, for the most part, don't get torped, and dump out, a bunch of, torpedoes, zoning or otherwise. And with this build and a 45-second torpedo reload, you should be spitting out torpedoes as quickly as possible, as we do here against this Alsace. He has already taken one torpedo hit from us, so he is on damage con. We get another connecting zoning torpedo. Unfortunately, we don't get the flood, but we are in this position here, and we do get the fire. So he is not having a good day. We launched another set, and we did get actually another flood. The downside with this build is you lose a massive amount of alpha strike on those torpedoes. That is the trade-off. Otherwise, this build would just be so insanely busted, it's not funny. But there is the first blood and our first kill using, applying that rapid torpedo strategy. And like we've talked about, you normally don't want to stack torpedoes, but in this case, especially with bow tanking battleships early in the game, you do want to stack torpedoes. And what we mean by that is, dropping sets of torpedoes on top of each other, as opposed to a battleship sailing broadside, or potentially in a turn. If you drop sets next to each other instead of on top of each other, you increase your surface area and are more likely to hit. Now, depending on the type of ship you're in, sometimes it's more effective just to stack those torpedoes depending on the movements. But again, most situations, battleship players are going to use their brain, I say that lightly, and go ahead and give you a little turn. Here, though, we are being harassed by a carrier. We are in secondary range of a Friedrich der Grosse, and there's really not much we can do. The ship is not the most maneuverable. It does have some maneuverability, but you lack hydro, you lack good guns, so we're basically relinquished to being a mid-tier torpedo boat for 80 to 90% of this game, and that is to be said for every game. I don't know what fascination some people have with this boat, but I don't have it, and it's for good reason. I'm going to go ahead and throw up all my stats for multiple different ships here. So here, let's take a look and do some bragging for a moment. A 73% win rate in the Sumner with an average XP of 2237, 100% win rate in the Hayate with a 2462. Now, there's only 10 games, so take that as you will. Kitakaze here with a 71 and a 1981 average XP. We have the Elbing at 70% with a 2045 average XP. And then finally, the Z-46 with an 80% win rate and a 2122 average XP. And what do we have for the Z-44? A 54% with an average of 1537 XP. So either Aaron has gotten worse at the game in this last update. Now, you could blame a lot of these teams, or this ship is just significantly worse. Now, again, that being said, sometimes it is fun to take out those boats, which maybe are not the most OP, But please do not tell me that it is me when I have a 70% in every other destroyer with an 80% in the Z-46. Comparatively, the Z-46 is 3 times a better destroyer. Now again, that being said, sometimes it is fun to go out there and connect those torpedoes and play those boats, which are maybe not the most effective. Also, sometimes as YouTubers, we take a very... I have seen some people take a very limited approach to their judgment skills. The Burgoon, for one, being an example. Some people played 2 games in the Burgoon and then labeled it as the worst ship ever, when the Burgoon is actually, I think, one of the best performing legendary tier battleships with the most damage. So I do warn you of those YouTubers who have one playstyle and refuse to adapt and change to the circumstances of that specific boat. For example, playing accuracy builds on pretty much every battleship and then labeling those who are not the most accurate as bad. And that being said, I did sort of do that for this boat, but now that we have a torpedo build on it, it still sucks. I'm going to stand by that. You guys can say whatever you want. The numbers truly speak for themselves. And I'm doing this review because if I'm not having fun in this boat and I think it's bad, then I guarantee you the average player is going to be even worse. On top of that, people spend real money on these boats, so if I'm not authentic as a content creator, then what am I doing? And that is sometimes what really bugs me. We can apply this to all aspects of life. The fitness industry is one, but if we're just making stuff up and creating these conspiracy theories and labeling all this garbage or overhyping boats, then we are no better than the Kardashians selling their fake skincare routine when they've gotten a million plastic surgeries. And again, that's what I truly hate about the fitness industry. We see a lot of these people all steroided out selling goat testicles, claiming that that's the reason they're big and all this shit. So that's part of my reasoning, for trying to do this, for redoing this video and giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on it. But also, take my opinion with a grain of salt. If you want to get this boat or you really enjoy it, go for it. That being said, I've truly hated ships before that have come back and been buffed that are really good now. The Champagne being one of them, the Azuma being another, and I'm sure there's a few others I can think of. But at the end of the day, guys, this is a video game, so you know what? Go out and have some fun. Prove me wrong, right? Go out, set an XP record, set a damage record, have fun with this ship. I'm sure it is going to get buffed. On a final note here, we did decide to switch to the AP. That is something I didn't really do in my first look video. And when you can get broadsides or superstructures such as this FDG here, you can do a little bit of damage there. You are lacking in the reload, of course, and the damage output is not even close to the Z-46 or other destroyers, with the same ammo type. But regardless, that is something to note if you do have this boat. That being said, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end my little narration here. You guys enjoy the rest of this video. We end with a nice little damage total, a few caps, doing the things that destroyer players need to do. But yeah, I'm just done narrating because I have nothing else to say. Let me know in the comments down below. Agree, disagree. Let the war in the comments begin. All of the trolls, go ahead and type your comments. Any funny comments too. I'll pin the funniest one. That'll be a fun little contest. The comments usually help the algorithm. But that's it, guys. Have a great day. Don't buy this boat. I love you guys. Aaron out. Peace.
Problem gelöst. nicht erlebt. Gegnerischer Kreuzer versenkt.